when it comes down, like when you're like by yourself and you're single, maybe you can kind of do what you want to do and you don't have that level of responsibility yet. But like you said, you're starting to have a wife. You're becoming a leader now, more and more, as you get older, as you get married, as you have kids, and you want to be able to pass that on. There's a scripture that even says, like, raise a child in the way that they should be, and they won't depart from it.
Yep.
And so I feel like the older we get, the more we realize that, because we realize, hey, we are getting older. You know, gray hairs start to pop up,
and our dad did a really great job of like putting those things in our mind and like always reminding us about this kind of stuff. But you get to the age of 24, 25 and you don't think about it any longer.
Exactly.
And then, like I said, you do get married and it gets to the front of the globe and says, hey, you need to do that. Things also like having my brother join a life group at some point because, you know, like I need to be a good example for not only myself, but for my family. And that doesn't extend just to my personal family. It's to my brother, it's to my sisters, it's to my friends, it's to my community.
It's like a chain reaction.
Yeah.
It's like you either plant seeds of chaos and disorder, or you plant seeds of stability.
Do your neighbors know that you go to church on Sunday morning?
Yeah.
So, it's not. It's little minute things that like people see that like spread into like much larger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why I actually this is why I do the YouTube channels, because I like to have these kind of conversations with people to just spark inspiration, conversation, and their own personal story. And because I feel like if I were to come on here and preach to people and just bash people over the head with the Bible, you can't really have a conversation that way, because you're just trying to get an agenda across, right?
Yeah.
And I think that Jesus was full of grace and truth. So that means that, yeah, you share the truth with people. You say, yeah, Jesus is the only way. That might be hard to say to some people. But also, you listen.
It's super hard to like... my wife is a non-believer as well. So that's like a hard thing for me as well, because it's like, hey, how do I marry those two things of like, I know where I'm going for my eternal security and she doesn't, and like, how do I be the best example? She is the best wife ever. She actually encourages me to immerse church most of the time.
Wow.
And like, because she sees it as my like a thing in my life that she wants to support and stuff like that. But then it's like, you go to church and it's like, this is the only way. And she's like, I don't understand what that means. And it's like, well, this is the beliefs we're having to try to like, figure out. So, yeah.
Yeah, if God really...
No, I understand that the Bible also says, like, don't be unequally yoked with unbelievers and things like that. Yeah.
But you know what it also says? It also says that if you are married to... Because I don't know if it's 1 Corinthians. I know it's Paul writing, but people are asking... Yeah, people are asking him, basically, should I divorce my spouse because she's not a believer? And he says, no, because you are actually watering her...
Some people
as
plant,
an example.
some people sow.
The believing wife sanctifies the husband, and the believing husband sanctifies the unbelieving wife.
See, that's why we have him, man. That's why we have her.
Yeah. I mean, I think he knows more of the Bible than I do at this point. But reading the Bible every day is literally probably the best practice, because little verses like that do come to mind. That
memorization. Sure.
Like those times when you're like sitting there and doing like memorizing the books of the Bible and quizzes and stuff for whatever.
Yeah.
It's probably a good practice to have with children, because you just think you're like reading words, but you're not. You're
it's deeper.
Yeah.
I mean, I volunteer with Rock City kids too, and seeing those little kids memorize verses and be able to talk about Jesus, it's really special.
Yeah. It provides you a basis with which to like give grace to other people, I think.
Absolutely.
Because if I didn't have those words, I wouldn't be as good of a person as I am.
True. I think God makes us better, right? But who's really good? That's the ultimate
He gives
question.
me all the empathy that I have because otherwise I'd be like...
He's the source of it.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, hey, that's awesome. I appreciate you guys, your openness and your willingness to share. You have anything else that you want to encourage somebody with who's listening or watching?
Not off the top of my head.
That's okay. What about you, man?
Not that I can think of.
Just trust in the Lord, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you, brothers.
He does a lot of youth work too, which is great.
Yeah, I work in the youth department at the church. So.
Oh, good for you, man. So you know all about this.
Yeah, like I feel like he's dealt with more like teenage kids in the area than I've ever had an opportunity with. But
it works well for me. I'm about the same maturity level as the teens. So.
You fit right in.
Yeah.
Well, that's encouraging though. So you can take your stories and the experiences that you have with those kids, you can share them with your brother, and you guys can sharpen each other in the faith. As you start to have a child come on, you said you're going to have a kid.
Yeah.
As that starts to happen, you're going to get more intentional. Yeah. I think God is calling, even through this conversations, God is calling you to more intentionality.
Yeah, and I still try to do, like, besides the church, like, outside of that as well, like, volunteer in the community. I do stuff with the Boys and Girls Club, tutoring, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, you need to, like...
get outside of yourself.
Go outside of the church and, like, witness in the places that aren't necessarily just church-centric, because you'll reach more people.
That's what we're doing here, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
Very much, Sean.
Yeah.